Well, I think if someone thinks PEs mark the top of stocks, then people are cautious. But to me, the PE is rising because the US economy and companies survived a stress test, Scott. We had a pandemic, we had global trade stop, we have a huge inflation cycle, the Fed, the fastest rate hikes in history. Let's say four things that just bombarded corporate earnings, and companies are producing record profits. So to me, they survived a stress test that warrants higher multiples. I just don't personally think 20 times for a category leading company is expensive, even 25 times. And, you know, like if we're talking about Nvidia, you know, why, I don't know, sure the cap should be 30. And so I think that we have this uncomfortableness because PEs are rising, but I think companies have really survived, you know, 4 cataclysmic stress tests too.
Nvidia, a name synonymous with graphics processing power, has become more than just a tech juggernaut. It's the heartbeat of the modern artificial intelligence boom. Recently, the stock market has been abuzz, with Nvidia, led by its charismatic CEO Jensen Huang, gaining headlines yet again. Their new Blackwell AI chip is causing quite the stir. The word on the street, well, the word from Huang, is that demand for this chip is nothing short of insane. As if that weren't enough, companies like Meta and Amazon continue their patronage, while industry giants like Larry Ellison and Elon Musk have been openly appealing for more Nvidia GPUs. But is this soaring demand still a solid ground for potential investors? That's the question worth exploring. Welcome back, everyone, to Investocracy.
But we've had a nice little rally in things like Nvidia, haven't we?
Yes. I mean, as a matter of fact, I'm glad you mentioned NVIDIA because today they're ringing the opening bell over at the other place.
I didn't want to let it go 2 minutes without mentioning it.
And of course, you
unloaded your NVIDIA bag as well,
yeah,
filled with your endless amounts of just use. I mean, look at this.
Stock was down, stock was down 99 cents at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Then it rallied to being plus as people saw that Goldman recommended the stock. Thank you. And now it's back down $1.27. But this is to Jim, and it's signed by Jensen because this is a very big day. 25 years since the G-Force. This is the legacy. This all got started. Everything got
25 years ago. It's when it got started.
No, not the company, but the key.
The key.
Yeah.
What would you call it?
Technology.
Right.
You mentioned Goldman. NVIDIA is on their list of top picks going into earnings, along with Citi, Gap, what else? Dell, Broadcom, ADT.
Yeah, no, that was a very strange list. And, you know, we're seeing these things, these tactical lists. And, you know, sorry, what is that about? So I guess that was screaming about yesterday's game. And I think that when you look at the list, I come back and I say, well, this is kind of an oddball list. AZEK, which is decking, a good company. Jesse Singh runs that. And Monday.com, I don't know. Dell, obviously, you're no stranger to Michael Dell. Broadcom, all-time high yesterday. So it's eclectic list.
As the AI landscape evolved, Nvidia successfully pivoted from its gaming roots, leveraging its powerful GPUs, originally designed for rendering detailed video game graphics, into the AI gold standard. This transformation was driven, in part, by Nvidia's innovative computing platform, CUDA, which has been instrumental in developing AI capabilities. Today, Nvidia commands an 80% stronghold on the AI chip market, according to industry reports. Humorously speaking, one might say investing in Nvidia these days feels as irresistible as the allure of free Wi-Fi in a coffee shop. Despite competitors like Intel and Advanced Micro Devices lining up their aisles with competitive offerings, the fact that customers are begging for Nvidia chips suggests a loyalty driven by unparalleled performance. Just consider the endorsements. Tesla's Elon Musk and Oracle's Larry Ellison have reportedly been in such mortal need of more GPUs that pleading was necessary. But what makes this surge of demand insane, as Huang passionately puts it, is Nvidia's Blackwell chip. Slated to launch later this year, this chip already boasts waiting lists that put the rush for concert tickets to shame. The company's strategic assurances, like promising annual updates to their GPUs, further complement their complete systems package, software, hardware, networking, and all, encouraging customers to remain latched onto Nvidia for full-scale AI projects. Furthermore, Nvidia's partnership with Accenture, creating a dedicated Nvidia business group, is all about accelerating AI adoption globally. Meanwhile, Figures from Supermicro Computer and Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing affirm that demand isn't just stable, it's burning brighter. But before we go any further, if you want to keep up with Nvidia's latest updates and keep up with the stock market's latest news, you can follow our Twitter account. We post multiple times daily about the biggest changes and catalysts in the market, so click the follow button if you don't want to miss the newest market updates.
There's always a bull market somewhere, and for the last 2 years, well, it's been right in front of you. So in honor of this glorious birth of this fabulous stampeder, let's take a look at which stocks led us to this bonanza of a birthday. First, do you even have to guess, given this lid and mug, the best performer? Why, it's Nvidia, the incredible technology enterprise. It's arguably the most important company in the world right now. This may be, by the way, the most valuable hat in the world because this is signed by Jensen. Right there, GE Force, 25 years, rings the NASDAQ opening bell tomorrow. 2 years ago, Nvidia was at split-adjusted price of 11 smackers. And people were just beginning to realize that maybe it wasn't just a gaming company with some real fast graphics chips. This was just a month and a half before the launch of ChatGPT. The most exciting thing I can recall since you've got mail. I've already, by that point, I named my dog Nvidia. That happened years before this bull market, but not everyone watches Bad Buddy or belongs to CNBC Investing Club. So you might have missed it. Eventually, Nvidia and its Renaissance man CEO Jensen pioneered both accelerated computing and generative AI. We speak too much about the latter, not enough about the former. Accelerated computing is what makes things really work here. In other words, Nvidia's created machines that think faster than you do, and soon will do almost anything better than you can do. Now, I don't want you freaking out. We're in charge here. We make the decisions. But AI saves a lot of time. I call it a lot of man hours, which is why it's such a revolutionary technology for the enterprise. And it's about to get even better because we'll see an amazing jump in the on-the-fly thinking from generative AI when NVIDIA's new line of Blackwell chips gets fully deployed next year. They are so powerful, so fast. These guys basically invented a chip that is so quick that it created the entire AI business out of thin air. It wasn't possible before, but now it can do incredible things, and very soon it'll be both faster and better. By the way, I think it's going to do some stuff with video that's going to blow you away. I've never seen a company have such demand for its products, including demand from Tesla, which needs NVIDIA for self-driving cars, which we'll talk about. I'm sure you'll hear about tonight with the robot presentation for Tesla. The whole thing's remarkable, and the stock's 1,072% gain over the past 2 years was right there for the taking, as CNBC Investing Club members well know. I do think it's got more upside, which is why I always say own it, don't trade it. It does put a smile on my face. I am happy when people make a lot of money. It's just me. I will always be that way.
Supermicro reports over 100,000 GPUs shipped per quarter, while TSMC, a critical supplier, posted a 39% revenue increase, directly bolstered by Nvidia's voracious appetite. Even at a price-to-earnings ratio that might seem steep to some, Nvidia's continued commitment to updating its products and maintaining a vast customer base projects a favorable growth trajectory. Wall Street estimates point to a lucrative EPS growth, signaling sustained upswings for Nvidia's fiscal plans. Analysts suggest Nvidia could sustain its momentum, potentially achieving a $10 trillion market cap, provided it continues its current rate of advancement. It might sound ambitious, but given Nvidia's trajectory, it's certainly not outside the realm of possibility. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
And Nvidia is really interesting over the last handful of days. So you know, the stock's up 8% on the week. And in some respects, it's helped hold this market up in the face of a lot of noise that's been around. And, you know, from your people that you talk to, there's a tremendous amount of bullish options activity around Nvidia going out into the spring of 2025. Give me some more specifics on that, and then we can kick this around the table. But I find this interesting, and I think all of you will too.
So I'm a cash equities guy. I'm not in the options market, but a lot of people I talk to are. Was talking to my friend Joe Fahmy, who's on the network a lot, and Joe is looking at something that you really don't see very often. Here you have the second largest market cap company in the world, basically trading at an all-time record high, and you see monster call buying at the March strikes from like 150 all the way up to 189. We're talking about thousands and thousands of contracts. This is not retail money. This is obviously somebody very sophisticated or somebody very insane, but they are betting big on continued record highs out into earnings season for this name. And it's worth bringing up because it's so far out, both out of the money and that March strike is so far away from now. I think it becomes emblematic of what this stock has been able to do despite lackluster performance from the other gigantic tech mega caps. It really is its own world right now, and it's just so tough to bet against this thing. Every time you think it's over, it's like it's just getting warmed up.
You know, Kev, when we talk about, Josh talks about March of 25, you're like, well, what's interesting about March of 25? And then we are also reminded that of all of the mega cap tech stocks, Nvidia is the latest reporter of the group, right? I mean, you go through the banks and then you get some, big S&P names, and then you start to get the mega caps, but then you got to wait like almost a month after all of the mega caps start reporting until Nvidia reports. So maybe that has something to do with it too, but you've noticed this volume pickup as well.
Yeah, I think what's interesting to the viewers is to appreciate what this trade is and not looking at it from the thousands of shares from the institutional side, but just breaking it down on one share. So let's pretend that Nvidia is around $130 a share, give or take. This 150 option needs to go up $20 for it to break even, and they're paying $13, $14. So that means you need to see Nvidia at 163 to 164 just to break even on this trade. Now, that doesn't mean that the stock can't move, and we know all about the Greeks and the deltas, and you can trade it tomorrow. But just to put it into perspective, what we're talking about, that is a very bullish thesis on Nvidia in a relatively short
Kevin, this
period
is
of time.
not, you would not place this trade to hedge an existing position. There would be only one reason why you would be buying like 5,000 of the 150s, for example. It's because you're making a bet that it's going higher.
Well, by the way, just for what I have in front of me here, the earnings date is February 26th.
So late
2025, so late February. So it makes perfect sense. From our own Dan Nathan of Risk Reversal, obviously, who all of you know, I'm sure, from Fast Money, says that call volume is 2 times that of puts right now in Nvidia. So that just gives you a degree to which the bullish activity continues. Liz, by the way, we'll watch Nvidia because 135.58 is the all-time closing high for shares of Nvidia, which aren't that far away, as the S&P 500 itself gets closer to 5,800. Rarefied air really approaching for both of those names. This also just goes back to Nvidia in the sense that they get the benefit of the doubt.
Always.
Few others, if anybody else does.
Well, it's the purest play. Obviously, you don't have to look at AMD and say what's the PC market up to. By the way, also 10 times the market cap. Nvidia is 10 times the market cap at this point, more than that of AMD. So it is just assumed to be the predominant way to capture the flow of dollars. And the stock is trading as if we're going to get confidence about the next 3 or 4 quarters once we hear from them and hear all the other cloud players come in. We'll see if that does come around. I would say there's a lot more differentiation within the Mag 7 than there had been in the first half of this year.
In summary, NVIDIA's story is less about short-term gains and more about a strategic, forward-thinking approach. Even after years of staggering growth, NVIDIA's AI-centric innovations and robust customer base provide fertile ground for investors searching for long-term value. Its dominance in the GPU industry, validated by escalating demand for its innovations like the Blackwell chip, forecasts a promising future, one that could see NVIDIA scaling market caps previously considered unreachable. But as with any investment, it's about weighing the data available against potential risks. With a market cap already touching $3.2 trillion, NVIDIA stands as a titan of technological evolution. Its continued growth suggests that an investment in NVIDIA today could yield significant rewards, coasting on future trends like AI and data center advancements. Now, the question flips to you, our astute audience. Is NVIDIA a jewel in your investment portfolio, or does the scene volatility give you pause? Join the conversation and let's hear what you have to say about this stock market phenomenon. As always, happy investing. And finally, if you would like to know what companies like NVIDIA have been up to these past few days, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.